Good morning. Good morning. I'm no longer sick. Still a little nasally, but in terms of how I feel, I feel great. It's a nice day outside. It's a nice smell of petrichor outside. The smell after it rains. It smells great. Yeah, I can hear the birds too. It's nice to be outside now. I wasn't feeling too good like I already mentioned, but now, I'm out and about, going on my usual rec walks, and can't wait to get the day started. So yeah, now I'm just going about. I see a dog. But I wanted to talk about this. Just wanted to talk about, what I learned just from being ill for the first time in like a couple years, I think. I don't usually get ill, but now I did, and I don't know what it was. I must have caught something when I went out. Either out to the city or to like climbing, but what I learned more so than ever is that it's okay to rest. I think especially when you are ill, you really need to listen to your body, right? And so that's what I did. There were times where I was just laying in bed. I was like, man, I really got to go to sleep. And I was like, I didn't really want to go to sleep, but like I said, when you're ill, you have no choice but to listen to your body. Otherwise, you're gonna come to regret it. And so that's what I did. Listening to your body, right? Trusting, what your body has to tell you, and learning that it's okay to rest. I'm getting that message reinforced more and more as I go about, my journey, because before, and those birds are fighting. Before, I never was really someone that, liked to go to sleep early, or what? No, hold on. I didn't like to sleep too much. There we go. I don't really take naps, and if I needed to do something, I would forego sleep just to do it, right? And so I'm learning more and more that rest is very important, and it's okay. It's okay to rest. You gotta rest sometimes in order to regain your energy, in order to, go about accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish more effectively, right? And then another thing is listening to your body, right? I think this is especially prevalent within not only people in capitalistic societies, but also people who work out a lot, or people who do sports, but you get injured, for example, right? And you don't listen to that injury, and you keep working out despite the injury. And going back to the first thing I said, people living in capitalistic societies, right? You work out, or not work out, you work so much that you just feel you become a zombie. Hey cat, how you doing? You become a zombie, right? And you you can't even function the same, right? Or you work so much, and then you're so excited just to go home and rest, and then but then you're dreading going back to work, right? And so listening to your body especially is important, and something that I am working on, because I push myself to the point of exhaustion, like just straight physical, mental fatigue on excuse me, on multiple occasions, and I felt it. It was a lot, and I say this, right, as a relatively like young guy. Like, obviously, like, I know there's people that work like significantly, like much more than me, right? And they're able to make it work, right? But I see that, right? And on one hand, like, that's awesome. They're able to do this, right? And keep on grinding, right? That grind mindset. But then I think about it, and it's like, what made them, or not, what systems were put in place to where they needed to work this much, right? I think about that, and it's like, I say that because I don't think most humans like should be working like that much. Like, when I'm talking like all day, every day, right? Like, obviously there are some roles that you need to do, otherwise society will just not work. But what systems were put in place to where someone needs to work like 2 to 3 jobs constantly without fail, and something on the side, right? And so I say that with that in mind, right? Because I know that me personally, I've never been put in that position, and so I can't relate. But what I do know one thing. I know what affects me, and I know my own experiences, and I know that, or I believe that, humans don't need to work that much. So listening to your body, right? Knowing when to rest, knowing when to take a break, right? Super important. And just being connected with nature as well. I think that's something that a lot of people definitely have not been able to do, or don't do, at least not to the same degree as humans in the past, right? Being connected with nature, because we are part of nature, and so we should be able to work with it, and appreciate what it is that nature brings to us. So yeah, I think about just my life. I didn't really like resting too much. I thought I perceived it as a sign of weakness, which I think is a very common trait amongst people in capitalistic societies, seeing rest as a sign of weakness. But in reality, now that I'm growing more, I see it more so as a sign of strength. And in certain contexts, right? Like there's some There's some people who like only rest, right? Which, I mean, some people have that privilege, right? Let me not bash on them, right? But like some people like only rest, and I don't think that's necessarily like right. But knowing when to rest, right, and then just doing it, I think that's the sign of strength. You know, you're able to be in tune with your body and know that, you know, okay, this is as far as I can go right now. So, and then just picking it back up, and continuing where you left off, right? Just like me, right? I was super exhausted, right? My nervous system was weakened, and you know, I couldn't really function I didn't function at 100%. And so I learned to, or not learned, but I listened to my body, and I rested. And because of that, you know, I was able to regain my strength, and now I'm back out here on the same thing I was doing before. Same thing. Picked up right back where I left off. So, yeah. I think being sick, while it wasn't the most pleasant experience, I did watch some things, which was pretty cool. But, you know, learning to rest and just being more grateful for the things that I already have, right? Because when you're sick, or I think, let me reword this, right? I think you appreciate things that you have more once you are sick. Like if you ever been able to not breathe properly through your nose, once you get that breathing capability back, you're like, oh my goodness, yeah, thank goodness. Or I don't know if this is just me, but like sometimes my hearing gets weakened, right? And I already have hearing loss. And so it's like when my hearing gets better, it's like, oh, thank goodness. I thought it was gone. So yeah, you appreciate the things that you have more once you are, if you do get sick, right? And I don't wish sickness on anyone, but I mean, some people just get sick, especially in some places more than others. But yeah. Anyways, that's what I've learned. You know, that's my experience with being sick, and what I take away from this. There's always positives in almost every situation. So yeah. Anyways, if you're watching this, I love you. Hope everything is going good with you. Take care of yourself and your family and your friends. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.